All right, guys, we'll get started with Chris Bassinet.
Hey Shay, what was that? Just the first time getting out there like for you as a starter? Did you have any nerves, or what was kind of your mindset going into it? And did you feel like you settled in right away, or kind of how'd that day go for you?
Yeah, I was excited, as we all were, to get out there. Um, I was a little nervous, yeah. I mean, if you're not nervous, I feel like you don't really care all that much. But there's a fine line to letting that nerve take over. But it took me a sec after, obviously, walked the first batter, and then Coach Christie came out and challenged me, and I kind of put my foot down and just said I was going to throw it over the plate and let our great defense, do their thing and just pound the zone like I know I can, and just see where it goes from there. Throwing strikes is where it starts for me, and if I get that down and get in a groove, I can get through outs and run through innings pretty quick. And you look up in the fifth inning, and after that first batter, you can go one way or another, and you just gotta make sure it goes the way you want it to.
Next question, Evan Bland.
Jay, what's the biggest adjustment going from reliever to starter? What do you have to change to be a successful starter?
I mean, not a whole lot changes on the mound, like for me anyway, but it's all in the preparation. You gotta get your work in. When you're gonna pitch versus, going into every game knowing you might get in there. But the preparation, the days leading up, you gotta stick to your routine. Whether you have a good outing or bad outing, you gotta put in the same amount of work and get ready for your start. But nothing changes on the mound for me anyway. You gotta pound the zone and throw strikes.
I was just going to ask you too. You played college baseball for a couple years. How hard is it to do what some of your teammates did as freshmen or newcomers this last weekend, coming in and making some pretty big impacts right away?
Oh yeah, it's incredible. It's huge for us. You never know with freshmen. You have an idea of what they might be like throughout the fall and the winter, but you never truly know what they're made of until you take the field. And I was super impressed, as I think we all were, with those guys that stepped up when it counted, and that's huge. And I'm looking forward to watching them the rest of the year and what they can do for our team to help us win.
Michael Bruns.
Hey, Shay, you guys had, I think, just one error on the weekend, and I know you guys have fielded it pretty well in the fall, too. I mean, as a pitcher, what does that just kind of do for you? I guess having that confidence maybe that the guys behind you are pretty solid.
Oh, that's everything. You gotta play as one. You can't beat a team on the mound just yourself. You gotta have the guys behind you, and I'm super confident with our guys, infield and outfield, that I can throw it over the plate and get away with not having my best stuff every day because I got those guys behind me that are gonna have my back and do everything they can to help us win. But when you're not as sharp as you want to be, and you're not paying corners, and you guys are getting some barrels on it, just you don't feel as nervous, or it takes some pressure off you to be able to throw strikes, and it just makes it that much easier for you. So I think this is the best infield we've had since I've been here, certainly, and probably the best infield I've ever played with. So it takes a little bit off you as a pitcher, knowing you got those guys behind you that are going to make the routine plays and then make the extra ones that you put your head down after you hear it come off the bat, and you're like, oh, that's going to find a hole. But it makes it a lot easier as a pitcher, that's for sure.
One other one, you guys had a little bit more time to kind of build up, pitch count and stuff like that, and just practice a little bit more than you have in the past. Um, how did that kind of help you, I guess, on the first weekend, and maybe kind of hitting the ground running a little bit faster than you would have otherwise?
We're kind of, me anyway, I'm built up at any point in the spring and winter. I feel like we're just building excitement, and every year you build up for the season, and we're at the point where we had to wait and watch a couple weeks of baseball, and we just want to get out there. But I mean, it's not a ton different. I mean, for me, it's different just coming in as a starter this year, so I'm built up a little higher. But we're gonna put our work in day in and day out and do what we need to do to get ourselves ready. And everyone's a little different. Some guys like the long rest, some guys like the extra time off, and then others, want to get out there every day and throw. But everyone's different. I feel good about where we're at and where I'm at, and the staff. I think we're in a good place for sure.
back to Chris Bassinet.
Hey, Shay, have you guys talked at all about just getting to play in US Bank Stadium this weekend and in a little different venue and in a football stadium and all those sorts of things? Or is it just kind of another, do you guys just kind of approach it as another game, another weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to approach it the same. We're going to approach every game the same with the same preparation and mindset. But, like Coach said, we're going to get in there on Thursday and get a practice in and get a feel for the lighting and the turf. But, I mean, every park's a little different. I don't think it's going to change much. I've never played inside, and probably a lot of guys on the team never played inside. But I can't imagine it all being that different. It's baseball. We're going to go out there and, do our thing. I don't think it's going to change a whole lot.
Last one, Evan Bland.
Hey Shay, it's been almost exactly a year since the shutdowns last year. I'm just curious how your experience of this last calendar year has affected how you experience college baseball, enjoy college baseball now, given what's occurred in the last year.
I mean, I feel like, a lot of us are in the same boat, but I feel like I kind of found a new love for the game, being away for it for so long and not knowing when it could be your last game, that could come at any point, any time, and you can have nothing to say about it. But, everyone putting their work in the last year on their own, small groups, whatever it may be. Some guys didn't play summer ball, some guys did, but, just cherishing every moment we get with each other on the field and playing the game we love. I mean, it's brought about a whole new perspective for me anyway, just not taking anything for granted and playing every game like it's your last. It's pretty cliche to say, but, I mean, it holds pretty true for, like, what we've experienced over the last year.
Thanks, Shay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's it for today. I'll send these files out later for you. Talk to you next week.
Thank you.